going to Sixx with Sixx. I am beyond excited. This was my Christmas wish. There was no one else I wanted to see the Christmas special out with but Dan from Ablaze. Mango, welcome.
How you going?
I'm
Good to
awesome.
be here.
I got the dress code. I saw it was black and white, so I wore the best black and white t-shirt I could find. And I've
No worries.
coordinated my Santa hat accordingly, all right?
I didn't even think of that. I could have dug out that leopard print one that's around here somewhere. I don't know.
You win. If you had pulled the weapon print, this is Coke, my friends. Oh, do you like my stubby holder? This is Coke.
Uh,
No alcohol in there, and I can't even talk. See how excited I am to talk to you? Oh,
Absolutely.
why wouldn't I be? I'm only human, right? Well, you are fresh off a rad rocking gig at the Cherry Bar. So how'd that go?
That was a lot of fun. There's a lot of people, a lot of friends, a lot of people I'd never seen before. It's always good to get a mix of that at the gig. Know that we're still hitting new ears and things like that. Jesus, it was hot. It was a hot stage. I think I
The
was
photos, you looked like you, not
so
you
two
personally,
songs
looked
in.
like you're melting. All of you, it looks super hot.
Yeah, oh look, it's a warm stage, but that night was next level. I was wrecked at the end of that.
Lucky you had some liquid refreshment to keep you hydrated.
Of course.
Of
Couldn't
course.
be in a Blaze gig without plenty of it. So yeah.
No, definitely not. And can I just say, I always love Christmas except for when the music starts and it's invariably going to be Mariah Carey, blah, blah, blah. So I'm really hoping that it's the most wonderful time for a beer is the new standard globally for our Christmas go-to song.
I wouldn't have any complaints if that was the case. um yeah, oh look, I think there's been a lot of rock bands over the years that have either done kind of rock covers of songs or written their own things like I think The Darkness has got at least two. AC/DC had Mistress for Christmas. And
Yeah.
one of my personal favorites is The Seasons Upon Us by I think it's the Dropkick Murphys.
Oh, yeah.
Like they're just fun songs, and if you can kind of take your own style of writing, especially with The Darkness and Dropkick Murphys and stuff like that, and then just give it a Christmas theme, why not? It's a bit of fun.
Absolutely. So you put a post out, right? This is terrible. You think being certain person's mother, I'd have inside information. I've got none, mate. There was a post, a mysterious post that went up in about October going, we should do a sea shanty or something outrageous. And some person, I can't even remember who it was, so apologies, a Blaze fan who wrote this. Someone said, oh, you should do a Christmas song. And I jumped on the train. I went, yeah, Christmas song. That'd be kind of cool. And then you actually announced you really are doing a Christmas song. And I felt like the biggest idiot because I had no clue. But I need to know, how long was this germinating in your mind for? How long ago did you write this song?
Well, the like less than a week between when we wrote that. What type of song should we write? And we've written a Christmas song is not when it all happened. Right. It was a bit of a loaded post. But yeah, we've Danny in particular has had the idea that he'd really like to try something like this for quite a long time. And we were kind of putting the finishing touches, at least, on what our second album's going to look like. And we were talking about potentially doing some extra songs, looking what we had, and if there was anything else we wanted to add. And we kind of realized we actually had enough time if we wanted to put something together to throw a Christmas song in there. Whether it's a bonus track on the album or not, it was just a bit of fun. And um, yeah, it came together remarkably quickly. And we kind of went, let's have a crack. There's no pressure on this. If it comes together, it comes together. If not, well. And it came together fairly quickly. And we ended up going, look, we're going back to the studio anyway. Um, let's just go back for a few extra days, and got there and kind of had to say to Ricky Ray, hey, we've actually got an extra song we want to record, and showed him, and he went, yeah, this is awesome. Let's do it. So we made it happen.
It's amazing. I don't know if this is me wanting to find things in the song or whether you put a deliberate nugget in there. But I feel like towards the last quarter of the song, there's drumming in it that sounds like "Come, they told me, pa pa pum pum." It's got that drum. Is that intentional, or am I just making shit up?
It was intentional. It was. There's a lot of little Easter eggs in a Christmas song. There's a lot of references to some of our old songs. Yeah, I want to do that little drum rolly thing, and then towards the end, it comes back with all the drunken carolers singing over the top of it. Um, yeah, it was all just let's see. We love doing that kind of stuff. We will mention the titles of songs in other songs. We will in our artwork and stuff. I think the artwork for the album references at least 4 or 5 of the songs that are on the album. Just even what's on that stubby holder,
Oh
and
yeah,
it's on
right.
the front and back cover. Like it's all there's plenty. We love doing that stuff. We get a kick at Ben is really really good at it, at finding little places to snake that kind of stuff in.
Oh, even
Um,
there's little Easter eggs.
yep, absolutely.
So you
So yeah, this was a
continue.
this was a no-brainer.
Oh, that is awesome. And thank you for validating it because I'm going, I swear that's a reference to that Drummer Boy song, but maybe I'm just tripping on that. Oh, I feel
No,
so much
definitely.
better
You
now.
caught it. You did well.
Oh, yay. It's probably the only thing I'm going to catch. Who knows? It's a festive season. Anything
Hang
can
on.
happen.
While we make sure our presents are wrapped, Nikki.
That's right. Now, come on, give me the memo quick. Um, you referenced it. You open a door, and there's no way I'm not going to keep walking through that door. You did mention recording album number two. Am
We
I
did.
allowed to ask about that? Is there stuff we can talk about regarding how that's coming along or when it's looking to be released? Obviously, you've already dropped some singles.
Yeah, well, we've dropped probably roughly half of the album so far as singles because, I mean, it's really tricky nowadays to get the balance because the market, the media around it, everything is all about single, 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 single. But the rock community in particular wants an album and a cohesive album. And I'm still very much an album person. I like listening
I need to
to
add to this
all of them.
collection.
But yeah, we still wanted to get that cohesive album together. Um, and but we wanted to really get as much out of it as we could because I mean the way it works now. I mean, last time when we released No Chaser, we released Just a Taste, and then No Chaser came out like 3 months later or something.
Yeah.
And then we released a couple of extra singles to push us along. But in terms of Spotify, in terms of the way all the algorithms work, and I think everybody's kind of across how all that is now more than they were back then. Um, Releasing singles after the album's dropped is just a video and an excuse to go on a tour, which is fine. It was a lot of fun. But um, this time we've gone, now let's actually kind of see if we can find that happy balance. So yeah, we've already released 4 singles. There'll be another one early next year, and we're looking at the album for hopefully mid 2025.
How exciting. That's awesome. Bands do naturally evolve as they continue to write and release new music. But from what I can tell from what I've heard so far, even compared to No Chaser, I feel like there's been a lot of different changes in direction musically and awesome ones, I might add. Is there anything particular that you consciously did to go in a different direction with some of these songs, or was it just organic in how it came out? And I suppose I'm specifically a different kind of nightmare. That was a whole new direction, and I froth over it. Love it.
No, I'm glad to hear. I guess it's not something that consciously happened. I mean, it's been a long time since we wrote a lot of the songs that were on No Chaser. Realistically, this album number two, should have come together and been released in 2021.
Wow.
But the world ended.
Yeah.
We got back from our Europe tour, did a little lap, at end of 2019, start of 2020 when we released Where's My Drink, had some fun, got back to Melbourne, took a couple of weeks to recuperate from 18 months of pretty solid touring,
Yeah.
and went, okay, what do we want to do next? Our bassist at the time said that he didn't want to do music anymore.
Yep.
And then the world ended
Yeah.
for 2 years. We were in the most locked down city in the world. People were like, why aren't you releasing music? We're not allowed in the same room.
Yeah. Well,
If it
there's
wasn't
that.
for the fact that if it wasn't for the fact that I was living with Dynan at the time, I wouldn't have seen anybody. So it made it really hard. And so I could, we all compiled ideas as we went, but we had no basis. So we didn't want to, you know, just write an entire album without a band member
Yeah.
because we're always very big on things being cohesive, everybody having a say in everything. It's why we're always five people that are arguing with each other, but it's because we want the best possible thing for everybody. And if we can put that together, we want to do it as five people. And
Yeah.
I know I consciously decided for myself, like I don't want to write entire songs and bring them to the band and be like, hey, this is done, let's learn it. Because I can fixate when I'm writing and put a whole thing together. I went, let's not, because the songs off the last album that we love and that really went to a new level for us was the stuff that we all did together. So if I came up myself, speaking for myself, if I came up with a chorus or a riff or something like that, I'd get a few bits together, put it aside. And then when we finally got back together, when we took on Your Child as our basis, when we started getting everything together, then we could put all these ideas forward and we could actually start putting these songs together as a group.
Yeah.
And so, whereas maybe different members of the band contributed less in one specific aspect of writing, everybody contributed more across the board.
Yeah.
And so, but some of the songs that were on No Chaser were written, yeah, I mean, we're talking 2016, 2017
Yeah.
was when all that stuff was really coming together and being wrapped up. So it's been 7 years.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the songs have come forward, the way that we write, the music that we're listening to, the music that's influencing the people in the band. Of course, Paris having a very different background in the music that they listen to as opposed to myself or Danny or Ben or Dynan. So that is going to have an impact as well and kind of what we wanted to go for with different songs. We don't do writing the same song 10 times and calling it an album. We like to write in, really stretch that, you know, whatever you want to call it, rock, new wave of classic rock, whatever
Yeah.
we are now. We want to stretch that in every direction we can so that it's dynamic. And yeah, that has led to, I think everybody's kind of improved as musicians. We've become more diverse in what we're listening to. And that, I think that all shows in the music. Different Kind of Nightmare was, funnily enough, it was from this little guitar intro that I'd written years ago. Um, that I originally wanted played on bass guitar, and I was kind of playing it for the guys as we were talking about putting some new songs together. And got to the end of that little intro, and the guys kind of went, "No, I'm not really big on that." And then I started playing the next little riff that I had for the song, and Danny went, "What is that?" And that ended up being that main little theme through the verses in Different Kind of Nightmare. But Danny grabbed that and ran. He was
Yeah.
just like, "I know what this needs to be. We need this. We need that. This is what we should do for the chorus." And we all just went, "Go, son, go!"
Go forth.
Like take it where it needs to go. We got everything down, and then we went back and picked our way through everything the way that we
Yeah.
do. And that was a slog, that song.
Oh,
Some songs
really?
come out real quick and they're happy and come together magically. That song took work to get exactly what we wanted from it. And really, we were umming and ahhing until we heard it mastered. And when everything was finally finished, we got exactly what we all went, there it is. Okay.
Oh, I was obsessed with it the first time I heard it. And the last time I was obsessed with one of your songs, oh, was it Long Way Home? I'm pretty sure it was Long Way Home. I remember the first time I heard that song, I hit you up. We're at a bar somewhere. You just played it for the first time. This wasn't even out then. I'm like, what was that song? And we talked about it
Yeah.
that night. But This is very diverse, and I always like that about this because there is so much diversity in this. And from what I've heard already, from what you have dropped, it sounds like there's more diversity to come. Do you ever worry, right? And this is not meant in as an insulting way. I actually genuinely think you write brilliant songs. And I'm not being funny. It doesn't matter who's in the band. I love your music. I always have, and I have for a very long time. Do you ever worry when you have songs like It's a Wonderful Time for a Beer or Where's My Drink and the fun party songs? Do you ever like you're known as a good time band and you are a bloody good time band, but there is some real deep, amazing stuff that comes out of you guys. Do not worry that you don't get the respect you deserve or you don't give a shit because you're doing what you do.
I mean, I
There's
think
more to you than the party song, is what I'm saying.
no, definitely. And we want it to be fun. We don't want to be one of those bands that stands there like looking angry and playing, and we're here and the crowd is there and it's separate and we're cool and you're not and worship it. We're not one of those. We want
No.
everybody to be involved. We want to have fun. Um, but yeah, we've got the ability to write some stuff that's a little deeper and a little more emotive, and we explore that. And um, sometimes it's a little it's not too much of a deviation, something like Long Way Home, where it's very much about being on the road and coming back, and it still kind of fits into that style. But
Yeah.
then there's stuff like Different Kind of Nightmare that's, you know, Different Kind of Nightmare is probably the most, I guess, 80s inspired track I think that we've released.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think the themes in that it's quite dark. It's about basically, if I'm going down, I'm taking you down with me. So I think if when I worry about, are we getting, do we get enough recognition for doing more than just, where's my drink and
Yeah.
and the like. Um, we've gotten some people have had conversations with us. I've had people comment on some of the posts and stuff like that and talk about songs like Darkest Day or Bottom
Yeah.
of My Bottle and stuff like that, and talk about that it hit them in a certain way, or that it made them feel a certain way, or that, you know,
100%.
especially a good friend said that Darkest Day got him through a really, really bad period
Yeah.
that he was going through, and just it hit me because I wrote it to get me through a really bad time in my life. So knowing that all that fun stuff can still happen, but there's still those moments that we can have with listeners and with fans where we can strike that chord and have that connection,
Yeah.
and that
Definitely.
people can get their own meaning out of the song, even if it's not what the meaning that went into write with it. For me, that's all the recognition of that we need.
And you
That's
probably
yeah.
just nailed the exact song I was referring to, like Darkest Day. That song is magic. That is a truly powerful, beautiful song. And that's where it's like, I love you. I love your band. I love going to a gig. It is the good time, guaranteed. And I never want to lose that. I know I'm going to have fun at a Blaze gig. That's guaranteed. But I do encourage people to buy the albums and listen to all of them because there's so much on there. Yeah. Thanks for indulging me with that one.
Oh, of course.
Okay, so you did a few crazy things this year. You had some tours in your own right. When Madness for the Medicine came out, you pretty much went around Australia with that one, went and gave it the love across the country. You did some work with Sisters Doll and Mystery from memory and
Yep.
Glamfest. And you even created your own festival in Brisbane when things happened, you went, we're going to make lemons into lemonade. And we're going to come up with something and make it great anyway. Is
Yeah.
there anything you could call out through the past 12 months that you would say was a standout or a highlight for you, or working on the album, maybe?
Yeah. Working on the album. The singles that we've released, like I I love Menace for the Medicine.
So
It
good.
is fun to play. It's got attitude behind it that I really like, and it's the feedback we've gotten from fans and listeners has been awesome.
Yeah.
I've really, really enjoyed seeing that song kind of get legs. Um, Glam Fest was a lot of fun. Meeting some very big international bands and hanging out and making some very cool memories and some very hazy memories. Um, and yeah, that festival that we pulled together, the Never Say Die Fest in Brisbane, that was a experience. That was a hair-raising 7 days between when we found out that the night was no longer going to be what it was originally supposed to be, and what we managed to pull together. Um, it was honestly, it was really refreshing to see a bunch of musos and music lovers pull together and pull off a small festival with 7 days' notice.
Yeah,
A venue that wanted to make something happen, people that wanted to make things happen, getting 5 bands together, getting a decent chunk of the people that were supposed to go to
yeah,
the original event coming
amazing.
across just to see it and support it. And uh yeah, that it took 5 years off my life
Yeah,
organizing
I
a
can
bunch of the
only
stuff
imagine.
that I was stressed for about 3 or 4 days out of that week, just trying to coordinate the lineups and get everything together. But everybody banded together and made it happen. And so, myself and Danny, Ross from Kiss It, Roxy from Catalano,
Yeah,
and
shotgun
Glenn from
mistress.
Shotgun
Yeah.
Mistress, and the guys from the Mansfield Tavern as
Oh,
well that
yeah.
had the faith in us to go, hey, if you can pull this off, it's yours, go for it. And looked after us on the night brilliantly.
I
It was a
want
really, really fun experience.
the whole lineup. You, Shotgun Mistress, Catalano, like that's sick. And I haven't seen Kiss It yet, but I'm sure they are amazing as well. You
Kiss It were
really
amazing, and the opening band. The opening band were a bunch of young guys from the Sunshine Coast called Pity Vincent that got on stage.
were.
I was in charge of trying to get as many bands together as possible for this thing, and so I was emailing people left and right. And funnily enough, with 4 days' notice, a lot of people are busy. But these guys went, "Yep, we're up for it. Let's do it." They came down, they hit the stage, they start jamming. They've all got these dirty, surfy mullets, and they've all got abs on abs. And they hit the stage, they started playing, and the singer comes out and just rips this note. And Danny's standing on one side of me. I think Rox was standing on, so they were turning to me and went, "Where did you find them?" And we were all just transfixed for the whole set. We're like, these guys came out of nowhere.
And
And just every set that night was just non-stop. It was so good.
oh, I reckon it would have been amazing. Where did you find those guys, just as a matter of interest?
Uh, I found them via Instagram. I
Amazing.
I was contacting bands that I knew
Yeah.
from up there and then saying, guys, I know it's short notice. If you can't do it, fine. But
Yeah.
if you can you give me some names that might be able to help? And everybody, yeah, yeah. And they'd give me 3 or 4 band names, and I'd go investigating. And I saw the name came up and went, it's an interesting band name. And I jumped on Spotify. They had one song and had a little bit of an intro on. I'm sitting there going, geez, okay, is this going to kick off? What's going on? And then the riff kicked in and the voice started, and I just went, that's them. Contacted them straight away. I said, hey, this song's sick. Can you come play our festival? And they went, yep, let's do it. Perfect.
Rest is history. What a legend. Good on you, Dan. Like that was one of those really heartwarming things. I was watching this whole thing unfold and then I saw the Never Say Die Festival and I went, this is unreal. You've really pulled something out of nothing here.
Yeah, we did our best. It was a tough slog. It was very, very much worth it. And who knows? Hopefully we get the chance to do it again.
Well, that was actually going to be my next question. Would you ever try and organize a festival type thing again? I know you obviously organize lineups and gigs all the time, but would you go down the festival road again? Like, as in you be in control of it?
I'd absolutely love to have the opportunity, not with 7 days notice.
Well, a little bit longer than a
No,
week, you reckon?
that's not happening again. But yeah, if we got the opportunity to I'm sure I could enlist the help of some people that would be keen to throw their hats in the ring and put together
Yeah.
something. Or alternatively, if somebody came and said, "Hey, help us put something together," I'd jump in.
What kind of plans have you got for touring next year? Is there anything you can talk about? Is there any international or Australia again tours planned, or is that all sort of stuff to be considered?
Well, no, we're deep in the planning process. The probably most of the reason we've been a little quiet for the second half of the year is because we've been recording and we've been planning.
Yeah.
So we've got some. I don't want to do the whole big things coming, watch this space kind of
Announcement of an
stereotypical
announcement.
band crap. Yeah, announcing the announcement, which we will do regularly and milk it because we need something for content. Um, yeah, we will be doing more Australian shows. We are deep in the planning process of some international stuff as well.
I'm just
So
saying,
it's
I
an
need a
album
new bass
release
drum
here.
skin, Dan. If you have another GoFundMe, I need the matching bass drum skin to go with the other one, all right?
No worries.
So that's exciting. So lots of things to look forward to.
Absolutely.
That is awesome. Other than that, I'm not going to be the first or last person to mention it, but you do seem to have a t-shirt for all occasions. And it's a gift, Dan. It's a gift. I need to know, do you buy them all yourself, or is it now just become a thing where someone that you're close to will just see it and go, I need to get that for Mango. That's got Mango's name all over it. Like, fucking swearing it's
um,
fucking cool.
yeah. um, yeah, well, this is actually from That's What I Reckon. The bloke from Sydney, the chef. He just
Oh,
released
yeah.
a bunch of these and I was like, oh, I need that because I swear like a fucking sailor. So I yeah, I don't know. I saw a couple of shirts that made me laugh, and I'm like, I'm going to get that and just cut the sleeves off and wear it as a drum shirt. I've always worn kind of band shirts like that, and um, I got one from the dog on the tucker box, and I think that was probably the start of it. Is I got the dog on the tucker box one,
Oh,
and and got some love for that, and got a bit of a laugh for that as well, because obviously we are semi obsessed with that statue. But the a couple of novelty ones just came up, and I had one years ago actually that was like, I think I wore it in on the last Europe tour that said something like, surely not everybody was kung fu fighting, or something like that. And and it made people laugh. And I'm like, well, I'm always thinking, what am I supposed to wear? What am I supposed to wear? And a lot of them are decent quality shirts that I can just lop the sleeves off because I hate drumming with sleeves. And yeah, a couple of these funny ones started coming up just as like Instagram ads and stuff like that. So I just go and find a cheap version of it and slice the sleeves off, and yeah, there's a couple of there's a couple that always get a good laugh. So I was like, look, if this is part of the thing, I'll do it.
I
And
love
people
it.
do send them. People will find something funny, and I'll get it sent to me straight away.
That's unreal. Because I always know if I see Ragdoll, Cam is going to wear a Kiss t-shirt. Like I kind of count on it now. It's like if Cam's not wearing a Kiss t-shirt, I'm disappointed. And he hasn't let me down yet. But with you now,
Yeah,
it's just something funny like, this is my second rodeo. Like,
yeah.
what? I'm a child. It actually amuses me. I love it. Oh,
No,
well,
well, if I see it and I laugh, that's it. Well, next time we play with Ragdoll, because I forgot that Cam always wears the kiss one. I got
oh,
one not long
piss.
ago that's the kiss that just says piss in the
Yeah,
kiss writing, and I'm like, I'm definitely wearing that.
definitely. He will absolutely love that. Well, you obviously have played with Ragdoll a few times. Is there anything
Yep,
coming up where you reckon you play with either Ragdoll or Shotgun Mistress anytime next year, maybe? You
I
take
hope so.
it.
I hope so. I'd absolutely love to play with both of them.
Oh,
I absolutely love the guys from Ragdoll. We love the guys from Shotgun Mistress. It was genuinely a surprise when we realised that I think the Glam Fest shows and Never Say Die Fest were the first time we were ever playing with Shotgun Mistress. I think we just kept passing each other in the night and never quite ending up on the same lineups. But we are no, we've got that weekend, that experience all together. So I think we're
yeah,
all bonded through that now.
my heart, my heart. That is awesome. Okay, I think that's just about it for me. But before I sign off, have you got any Christmas or New Year messages for the people out there?
Well, I hope everybody has a great Christmas holiday period. Hope everybody gets to have fun. Hope everybody stays safe. I know we talk a lot about drinking and having fun and stuff. Don't drink and drive. Don't do anything irresponsible. Have fun and be safe so we can see you next year and you can see all the very, very cool stuff that we've got coming up.
Thank you so much for making time to talk to me. And thank you for the music, quite literally, and also the good times as well. You know, I absolutely adore you. I'll do everything you do. Have a Merry Christmas, Dan, and thank you so much.
Thank you, Nikki. Merry Christmas to you too.